What's up, everyone? Man, can you believe it's been pretty much almost a freaking year exactly since I posted the last video that on YouTube, and time just moves way too fast, man, and you lose track of shit real quick. But I wanted to give you guys a super quick update before I get out of the shop today, and this is what the car looks like right now. It's just a rattle can black. I did that for a photo shoot. It's probably just gonna stay like this for a little while, but obviously, you know, this is not a permanent fix. This is just temporary. And at this point, 4.5 years on this build, I really don't give a shit about the body and paint right now, which is not really the right way to do things. But you know, when you're in my shoes, you might feel the same way, you know, you start to get a little anxious, but we will eventually get to the body and paint. But for now, you know, just to get it to rock and roll, you know, all the essentials and stuff, it's almost there, man. I am currently working on half of the fuel line. This is half of it right here. Unfortunately, I had to break it up into 2 sections because the routing of the frame rails, the exhaust cutouts, all the shit, it's just kind of limited down there. And so I tried to make it a one piece. Was not happening. So it's gonna have to be broken up into this section that we're looking at here. This right here comes right out of there's a rubber line that connects that to the fuel sending unit out of the tank. And then this obviously goes into the other half, into the fuel pump. This is aluminum tubing, 1/2 inch inner diameter. It actually is like 0.493 some horse shit. It's it's not a true 1/2 inch ID, but it's close enough. This will support like 800 and above horsepower, you know. The bends is what's got me a little worried, but maybe it's not too bad. Let's grab this light real quick, but that's half of it. I got the that little easy beater. Focus, you bastard. There we go. That little Earl's Plumbing easy beater to put a little bead roll or a flare, whatever you want to call it, at the ends of the lines to connect the rubber hoses properly. I recommend that you do that. Don't just slip on a rubber hose. You're more than likely you're going to get some leaks, but that's half of it. And I already mounted it up and everything. Obviously, I just threw a little bit of paint on these little bolt holes the new bolt holes that I made. There we go. You know, just so it doesn't rust. Some Port 15 top coat. I swear by that stuff. So it's going through this cross member here. This is the other half of the fuel line, and it's been a pain in the ass, man. This thing should have been done already, but these headers are probably gonna have to come down so I can tap some new holes into the frame rail, man. I really don't want to do that because this is a pain in the ass over here, man. Headers in general, right? It's just not fun, man. It's not fun to install or to remove or whatever, but especially the right side of these Mopars, these V bodies, man, that's just so close to the frame rail. Look at that shit. So, but we'll see, man. We'll see what I have to do. Probably gonna have to bring it down. You know, it's always something, always some horse shit or other. And then going into the pump right there. I already got the fitting, the inlet fitting on the pump. So other than the paint drying and then this horse shit right here for the last half of the fuel line should have been done already, you know, but of course it's never what you think. And then up top, there's let's see if we can zoom in. Oh, that's zooming out. Can we zoom in? I put a Dodge Charger style fuel cap on it because I love that look, that NASCAR, you know, race boat looking type of shit. I love it. So I'm waiting on the fuel filler neck to come in, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to modify that because obviously it's for a Charger and this is not a Charger. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. But other than the fuel filler neck that I'm waiting on, and then the shit that I just explained right now for the fuel line, the fuel system is gonna basically be done, you know? And that fuel filler neck comes in like next Tuesday or Wednesday. Plus the time it'll take to, you know, modify it if need be. But the fuel system is basically done. That's what's going on with that. And I'm also seriously contemplating going to like the Aeromotive A1000 fuel pump, man, for several reasons. The supercharger, and it's just better. You know, I've heard some horror stories of these mechanical fuel pumps getting too hot and breaking the diaphragm and leaking fuel into the crankcase, and obviously, you know, oil and fuel. There shouldn't be fuel with your oil, right? I think, but you know, we'll see what happens with that. So that's the fuel system. The brake system, I need to take the master cylinder off, put it on the vise, bench bleed that thing, and bench bleed the master cylinder, you know, bleed each caliper or whatever. And shit, man, I think that's basically it as far as like the mechanics go. And I need to do a little bit of wiring. Well, not a little bit, a lot of wiring on the car. But, you know, tail lights, all the gauges and stuff, hook all that stuff up. Tail lights, headlights, whatever. You know, I want to do the bare minimum just to get it on the road, to test drive it, you know, and see how everything is reacting. Even though that's not really the right way to do it, I should just go ahead and hook everything up, you know, as far as wiring goes. Like I said, forget about the body and paint, but I think it'd be really killer to get this thing on the road, you know, right before the end of the year. That would be amazing for me, man. But with the holidays and things, our business kind of slows down around this time of year. It might be an impossibility, but we'll see. I don't know. But what else is going on with this thing? That's honestly, I think, pretty much it as far as, like, you know, done goes, you know. And when I say done, I mean, like, what's it gonna take to get this thing on the road? But man, she looks killer. I got the Super B taillight ring bezels. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, man, this thing it's looking like a real muscle machine, you know, like a real hot rod. A real, a real Hot Wheels looking car, you know. It's cartoonish. I love it. But yeah, that's what I've been working on, and I got a parts list over here of some other things that I need, you know, of course. And here's a cool little deal right here. It's really bad lighting, but this is another little project car that my brother has gotten into. It's his girlfriend's car. And it's a 1937 Packard 6. It's a pretty cool deal. There's a big, long backstory to it. It's been in her family for a long, long time, ever since she was a little kid. And he's doing a ground-up restoration. And I know you can't tell because it's a video plus the shitty lighting, but this car, and we've had several experts come by, good customers and friends that had body shops back in the day. Metal guys, right? Like, none of that Bondo shit. Metal workers, and they've come by and they've looked at the body, and it's phenomenal, man. It's kind of like, it's strangely straight. Like, it's 1937, right? Body is in superb shape. I think there's one little section of cancer that needed to be cut out so far that we've found right there. Not too big of a deal. It's got the corrugated, you know, channels in it, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Not too big of a deal. We have an idea how to use a shop press and some rectangular tubing to get that form. That should be a fun project. Maybe I'll start, you know, posting some stuff on this too for the future and show you guys how it's coming out. But it is gonna be a challenge. It's the whole electrical system is like 6 volts, so, you know, your negative is positive and your positive is negative, or some weird witchery type shit like that. Like, yeah, it's crazy. You can't, the chassis is like positively charged, some horse shit. I could be talking out of my ass. I'm just giving you the lowdown of what the other guys that were dealing with this shit that know about electrical, because I really don't know about electrical. But, like, for example, if you want to use a circuit test light, right, to see if shit was working, you can't grab off of the like the frame or anything like that, because it's a positive charge from what I understand. If someone knows what I'm talking about, leave a comment in the comment section and elaborate on my gibberish that I'm spewing here. But in any case, fuck the electrical. This thing, there's like one issue. Where is it? Right here. Yeah, about in here. No, excuse me. Where the fuck is it? Oh, right here. There it is. Right there. There's a little low spot. And other than that, and for save for two other little areas on the passenger side, this thing is like laser straight, man. It's crazy. The door shuts super solid. It's really cool deal, man, especially the backstory on it, which I'll get to in another video. But this is we're at 10 minutes right now. Yeah, that's basically all I wanted to show you guys, you know. And the cage is in it. Yeah, you can't really see it. That's kind of shitty right now, but it's got the main hoop and the rear strut bars there going into the trunk area. So it's not really a cage, it's a roll bar, right? But in any case, you know, damn phone, still getting used to this new phone. But yeah, it's coming along, man. I'm proud of everything that, you know, I've accomplished here with this thing, man. It's coming out really nice, man, I gotta say. The cage was a challenge. This is the first time I've ever done that, but it came out solid, man. It came out good. And I highly, highly recommend, I don't care if you're building a drag car for the strip, a circuit car, you know, a road car, a drift car, rally car. I don't give a shit what it is, man. If you're really serious about what you're trying to do with your little car, get the rule book for the body of racing that you're, you know, trying to get into. Because, you know, I used to think like, oh, these rules, man, what's up with all these goddamn rules? This is annoying, you know. This is some real egghead shit, real fucking stupid, man. Just real stupid way of thinking, you know, I'll admit. And that's just not right, man. It's just not the way to go about it, you know. You start really thinking about it, and it's like, especially these old cars, they're dangerous, man. They're not nearly as safe as people think. They think that they're stout because they're so big, and it's real steel. The carbon level of this old steel is higher, and that's all true, but, you know, as opposed to modern stuff. But there's no giveaway zones. There's no crumple zones, you know, that's made to crumble upon impact and absorb that energy. None of that shit existed back in those days. So, you know, a cage is it's paramount. Even in new cars, like that you're gonna road race or drift or whatever, you know, you still have to do a cage. You have to, man. And pick up the rule book for whatever body it is you're trying to get into, man. I got the latest 2019 NHRA rule book, and there's a lot of requirements in there, man, that like makes sense, you know. That once you start diving into it, it's like it makes sense why these rules are there. A lot of people had to die or severely get messed up just to figure out what works. So, you know, if you value your life at all, get that goddamn rule book, man. And the thing is, you got to understand is that the cage is completely, the purpose of it is obviously to keep you safe, but also for chassis stiffening and performance. But the cage is built around the driver, not the car, essentially, man. It starts with the driver. Like, you're gonna have to get in and out of the car, in and out, in and out. And, you know, like, for example, really quickly, I don't want to waste too much of your time, but like the main hoop for drag racing, right? I don't know about the other ones, but for drag racing, the main hoop has to be within 6 inches of the driver's back, okay? It can't be more than 6 inches away. It has to be within 6 inches of the driver's back in race position, right? The legs of the main hoop that go down to the body have to be within 1 inch of the driver's door, or at least as wide as that man's shoulders. Because you figure, you know, if that leg of that main hoop is too far inboard and your shoulder's sticking out past the cage, if you hit the wall, what the fuck good is the cage gonna be? It ain't gonna do you no good. So little common shit like that, common sense stuff, really. And it's like, you really start to dive into it. It's like, okay, yeah, I see why these rules are here. But in any case, that's what's going on. I'll try to post some more stuff. You know, see how this thing turns out. Hopefully we can get it on the road soon, man. You know, like I said, with the holidays and everything, though, who knows? But just wanted to give you guys share something with you guys. And I'll check you guys out later. All right, peace.